Yes. We are back for another amazing episode this Thursday morning, this beautiful cold Thursday morning here in Georgia.
It's not that cold here, man, but it is a beautiful morning. It is good to be back, and there's so much to talk about on this Thursday, last day before the end of the month. How crazy is that, man?
Man, listen,
Crazy.
all I gotta say is I'm killing it. This quarter, I killed it, and I don't think you and Tony are gonna be able to stand a chance, bro. I'm just being honest.
I'll be honest with you, man. A couple of my title people I called yesterday, I'm like, look, what do we got to do to make these deals close by tomorrow? Mortgage company hasn't sent this out. I'm like, look, we gotta turn back the clocks or something, my friend. You know,
we need to be pushing forward, right? We need to be pushing forward.
Yeah, I will tell you this though. I was happy today to open up my emails, and I got a couple of stock shares and all that stuff for EXP. So I was pretty happy.
You're not by yourself. I got that same email last night, and I was like, okay, stocks and EXP is running up, meaning I'm making passive income. You know, I could be able to retire off this money in the next few years. I'm loving it, bro. I'm loving it. Like I said, if you're not making money right now, you're behind. You got to step your game up. This is the perfect time to be in the money business. I am in the money business right now. So before we get started, man, let me just go ahead and welcome everybody to the show. Listen, everybody, welcome to the show again. Every Monday, Thursday, me and Daniel bring the most disruptive podcast you can think of to you live every Monday, Thursday. At 6:45 a.m. to 7:45, and sometimes it runs over, but you got time to spend with us. We appreciate it. We appreciate everybody that tunes in and drops in the comment section. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you hit that subscribe bell, especially if you're on YouTube. We're also live streaming right now from Facebook, so if you have some friends that could benefit from this context, please send this video over to them immediately. Also, great news. We're also streaming on Spotify now. So if you like to catch our podcast on your radio or in between your favorite songs, you can check us out as The Closing Table on Spotify as well. We upload our podcast there in an audio format, so you can catch us whenever you like.
I'm gonna get a shirt so you don't have to repeat that every day. That'll just say that. So I'll start wearing that shirt.
Read the shirt. Just read the shirt. But yes, welcome everybody to The Closing Table. I am your host, James Garvin, and my wonderful friend there who's drinking, I look like a 7-Eleven coffee.
Daniel White here, live in person, ready to go. Some crazy stuff this week, man.
Yes, bro.
We saw banking issues. We've got conspiracy theories. We've got,
He said conspiracy theories. That's my kind of talk, man. It's my kind of talk. Yeah. So real quick, let's get into this morning brew. Since our conversation, as you can read at the bottom, we have the banner at the bottom of what we're going to kind of be discussing today. As you can read at the bottom, we're talking about the future of money, why the digital dollar is a game changer. The money is a game changer, they say, but we're going to get into that in a little bit. But one of our conversations today is wrapped around technology and how it's becoming more disruptive in our economy. So again, good morning. And listen, if you people out there, if you wonderful professionals out there, or just people who like to send emails, listen, ChatGPT has everything you need. I promise you. This guy named Sean has recently come up with a unique way to leave email signatures. You know, the little things at the bottom when you say blase, blase. Well, Sean has been using ChatGPT to come up with all kind of unique ways to correspond with people at the end of his emails. Say, for instance, ChatGPT wrote him one like toasting to our correspondence, which is pretty decent. It's pretty decent. Toasting to our correspondence, which means he like to drink while he's working, right? Then we have one that says, from the end of my rope. You will send this one if you're angry at somebody, I'm assuming. If you're at the end of your rope, we all know that you're pretty angry. And if you want to be more
that's where I'm at right now with my title companies. Actually, it's probably more on the lending side, on the opposite side for those buyers, It's like
I understood. Yes.
At the end of my rope. I'm going to send them that in my email today.
So if you're not using technology, get into the technology. It's really creating dope things, man. We in the world of technology. This is the world of technology. So understand we are.
James, they even did a test, right? A guy on there did a test for put $100 down and said, "Hey, make me money with this $100. How can I make money with $100?" And like one day, 24 hours, made him $15 on his $100 or something like that, right?
Indeed. Technology is changing, bro. Technology has changed our world and it's going to continue to change our world, even in the world of stocks. If you don't know, most of the big stockbrokers, they're using this technology that's called Aladdin. Aladdin is one of the most useful stock platforms or index technologies that helps them predict the future of risk management with the stock market. And that's what they say they've been using for the last 20 years. And all they've been doing is just pretty much beefing it up, getting it smarter, using new technologies to help it increase its learning patterns. And
I feel
over
like
the
we've
years,
seen all of this, James, in
so what?
movies.
Say it again. Hold on, say it again.
I feel like we've seen all of this stuff in movies, man. Is
I,
Will Smith going to come and save us?
I personally think, well, I don't know about Will Smith and maybe Chris Rock, but
he can take a slap, man. He
right, he can take a real slap.
A real slap, man.
So, but yeah,
I would rather be punched. By the way,
I think I would too. I think I
do not want to be slapped.
I would feel more manly at the end of it if I was punched versus slapped. I mean, somebody slap you. I mean, it makes me feel a little lower than I feel like I should feel as a man. But
yeah, man.
I agree with you.
You turn and duck your head.
But yeah, overall, like this technology is really changing the world. Even like now, the NASDAQ is up a few points. So if you got some money in your stocks, NASDAQ is up 1.7%. S&P is up 1.42% today. So if you're betting on the stock market to keep going up, even with the banks, doing what they're doing, this is a good time to invest because people understand if the banks are failing, put your money in the stock market, right? Bitcoin is up 4.18%. And Amazon is up 3% today. So listen, it's a great time to be investing, making a few extra dollars. If you have it to move it. Go ahead and move that money.
Just know if you lose your stock, though, the government's not going to bail you out like the banks get bailed out when they make bad decisions. Sorry, guys, just facts of life.
No, that's facts. Those are big facts. That's what we are, bro. We are in that conundrum of you can lose.
Again, you don't have a financial advisor, James.
Huh?
Bet on purchase safe stocks, stuff you buy and use every single day. Right?
Exactly. Purchase
can't go wrong there.
Stocks. Yeah. And it's crazy though, because Bitcoin, I wouldn't consider that a safe stock, but it went up $10,000 over the past 2 weeks. It was at
but it also dropped from $72,000 a share to like 16 or 17, right?
Like, so there's a big drop in there. So it's super risky. I mean,
going back 2 years ago, like Tom Brady threw a touchdown pass. I don't know if it was like 650, whatever it was, but Mike Evans, I think, was the receiver of that, handed the football to one of the guys, ladies, gentlemen standing in the stands or whatever. And I guess he didn't realize how historical that football was. And so Tom Brady ended up giving him 2 Bitcoin shares when they were at like probably 60,000.
Oh,
you know? And then season tickets for the following year and stuff. But, then it plummets, we still got it free, but,
Yeah, that's true. But you also have to realize Odell Beckham signed his whole Rams contract in Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it was around the $50,000, $50,000 mark at the point when he signed that contract. And once that failed, it failed. And I'm pretty sure if he didn't cash out before that, bro, he lost a lot of money.
A lot of money, dude.
A lot of money. So
has anybody purchased a house yet with Bitcoin?
Well, that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about in our mastermind today. How Bitcoin and the blockchain is one of the disruptors of real estate. And it could possibly, create a dilemma for the next 5 to 10 years for real estate agents. Because if we do go this route in buying and selling real estate, we will see a disruptor in a lot of professional jobs gone at that point.
So, with everybody listening to the show, all the people that are in our mastermind, do we know somebody that would sell one of their properties for Bitcoin right now?
I don't.
I
I
would
would.
be. I mean, I'm not saying I would, but there's probably somebody crazy out there that would do it.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. If I had a property to sell and I would have sold, and if I would have put it on the market 2 weeks ago, if I would have put that same property on the market 2 weeks ago when Bitcoin was $10 or $18,000 and sold it 2 weeks ago when Bitcoin was $18,000 for Bitcoin, I'd be up $10,000 per Bitcoin right now. So
yeah, but tomorrow it could be down, right?
We can't talk about tomorrow, Daniel. We're talking about right now. Right now,
you better get your AI GPT and ask them a question. Is it safe?
Is it safe right now to bet? That's the real question. Is it safe right now to bet on it? And I mean, I do think it's you have to know how to bet on it. Again, a lot of us like to jump into technology late, bro. I mean, we jump into technology so late. And why is that? Why do you think we jump into technology so late? And this is a question for everybody out there as well. Why, as humans, do we jump into technology at the end or in the middle when the wave has almost peaked? You know?
James, I mean, I'll answer just for myself, right? I think that we all get very comfortable in our ways in the way that we go about things here on our daily basis. You know, you worry about getting your kids to school, getting to work on time, taking care of what you got to do, go to the gym, cook dinner, all that stuff. And you kind of forget all the crazy stuff that's going on around you. I mean, think about when you and I were in high school and the phones that we had and the technology. Like, you don't even see phones hanging on walls anymore. You know what I'm saying?
With the long ass cords.
Yeah, exactly. It's just really, really kind of crazy and how all of that stuff works.
It's wild, man. And I personally feel like for me, and again, I want to see some of those comments in the chat. You know, how has technology affected you? Has anybody that's in here have any of you ever had a job where technology came in and became a disruptor where you lost your job? Like, just say for instance, back in the 30s when they used real sewing machines, like these huge ass sewing machines, and then the automated sewing machines came in where you can just put the design in a computer and it just did everything for you. So, you know, I remember my auntie used to be a seamstress. She used to work for a company, and her company got wiped out because they refused to, you know, level up or innovate in another sense. And I remember she used to make really good money doing that, really good money. And that job was here one day and the next day it was gone. That's how fast like technology can change your industry.
Well, look what it did to the car industry. Like you know what I'm saying? look what it's doing right now for like manufactured homes and stuff like that. I mean, it's absolutely crazy now. They have these big warehouses. I mean, look at Amazon. I mean, another one. It's amazing how those companies work with that technology. And you go back 15, 20, 30 years ago, and yes, it was there, but it was still men and women that were primarily working those you know, in those warehouses, putting things together, packaging them, shipping them. And now like you're the human that's in there, but you're kind of like just overseeing it and making sure that the glue is in there, making sure that the tape is still in there, right? Like they can't, those machines, not yet, you know, can't go, well, maybe they can.
I'm saying, hold on now.
The box and pull the tape out and unwrap it and stick it in there, right?
Like, don't sleep on the technology, man. Technology.
I know, James. I knew you were coming that way.
Bro, technology is doing some amazing things. Like, really. Like, I mentioned this. What, last week? If it wasn't last week, it might have been a week before. McDonald's in Texas, I think it's Austin, Texas, now has a actual, you know what? I would share it. I would find it. Automated McDonald's has an actual computer running the whole system. Computer. Oh, 10 McDonald's restaurants. 10 McDonald's restaurants. I will present this to you all and show you that it is real. It is absolutely real. out here in these technology streets, man, because people don't get it. People just don't get it. This is how fast this is moving. This is how, look, 10 McDonald's restaurants in Chicago are testing automated drive-through ordering using artificial intelligence software. CEO Chris Kempczynski said Wednesday, said the technology is about 85% accurate and can take 80% of orders. McDonald's obtained the technology through its 2019 acquisition of Apprenti. I never heard of that company, but it's real, bro. They're really doing
it. In Chicago, they need it.
People don't need to talk to people. Have you seen
bro? They don't need any human beings inside those places, man.
Yeah. Bro, have you seen when you like going into these restaurants, especially McDonald's? I hate to watch these videos when I be on YouTube and I be on Facebook, but these people literally be going into these McDonald's, fighting, like just tearing things up, bro. And again, I know like people suck sometimes. We all suck at what we do. Sometimes
people just need to be slapped.
Well, we definitely know,
they need to be slapped.
Listen, like I definitely know if Will Smith was in line ordering, we'll get some slaps going on. But honestly though, but we are a chaotic being. Sometimes we can be really, really chaotic. Do you think this is going to minimize the structure of restaurants in the next 2 to 3 years?
I definitely think so, man. I mean, you know, when I look at the AI technology, James, and you know, since you and I have partnered up over the last year or so, you know, I've had to do a lot more research on the technology side of things because you always are pushing the button on that. I have to give you credit for that. And so I just try to stay up with you on it, and you still send me things and I'm like, I've never heard of this. You know, I don't know what's going on. But, you know, you talk about this McDonald's, these 10 chains for McDonald's. Go back 10, 15 years ago, we didn't have self-checkouts at grocery stores and Walmarts, and just look at the technology there on that, you know, like, so this technology here is 100% going to, you know, change the restaurant industry. It may change the gas station industry. I mean, it is going to change a ton of businesses. It's basically taking the human element out of it,
taking it out. Like we've been people have been concerned for years. People have been concerned for years that we would see robots in restaurants. People have been saying for years we would see restaurants that have no servers, because again, Walmart did it 5 years ago when they started doing this, implementing the self-checkouts. Amazon has stores that you can literally just walk through, pick up what you want, and walk out. The technology that we're in the world is we're by far farther than what we should be. Like most people think, okay, they should be in the next if you think whatever technology you can think of, I don't care what it is, whatever technology you can think of, and you think it's going to be 5, 10 years down the road, think 2 years down the road.
Yep.
2 years down the road. We're moving that fast.
Oh, 100%. I mean, just look at the iPhone. When the iPhone and the Android first came out, it was like every 2 years, 3 years, they would bring out a new phone, right? Now it's like every 6 months, we've got a new one. I don't know what we're on right now. iPhone 37?
Something. I don't know. I told myself I was going to stop buying the upgraded ones. I will wait 3 or 4 upgrades before I get the new one, because at this point, iPhones, which I personally, I think the iPhone stands for intelligent phone. They just took everything else off and just kept the I. But it also reminds me of the iRobot, you know, like you were just saying, iPhone, iRobot, same type of I. Then you also have the Android, you know, that they've been setting us up for this for so long. We just failed to realize how it's going to be affecting our industry, and our money is going to be affected the most. I think our money is going to be affected the most when it comes to the digital dollar. Our future is going to be dependent on a digital dollar. Bernadette said they've opened a portal. Okay, what she's referring to, if you all don't know what she was referring to, is that the Hadron Collider. The Hadron Collider is a some technology. Is what they're doing is they're clashing atoms together to find the God particle. They found a few of them. They want to find out what the energy that made the world. They want to find that energy. And again, once they collide these atoms together, what they do, they can also find other, what she's claiming to be portals, dimensions to other places. And again, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. That's one of those conspiracy theories you was talking about there, Daniel. But let's just talk about that for a second. Do you think? Not
my head.
Listen. Do you believe that there's other dimensions out there where you are not a real estate agent? You may be an owner of these multi-million-dollar McDonald's that are shifting into the robots right now. Like, do you think that could exist?
God, jeez.
Come on, man. It's a fun Thursday.
It's a fun Thursday,
Listen,
man.
You brought up conspiracy theories.
I go back and forth on this stuff, man. Man, my grandfather is looking down on me right now because he always said, we're not the only ones here. There's other stuff out there, but I'm a strong believer in, like, man, I can see this. I can touch this. I can, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's definitely something stronger out there than all of us. So, I'm just not in that ball game. So I'll just wait for the YouTube videos that are 3 years behind. No. You, my friend?
For me, I have this conversation all the time. Like, the way science is set up, the way science is structured, it's focused on creating the notion that there are multiple dimensions. I am big on the metaphysics of life. I'm not saying I'm a metaphysicist, but just thinking about the calculations and the structure of all of that, you have to break down and say to yourself, okay, if you didn't stop and buy that cup of coffee this morning, where would you have went? What path did you go down this morning? What did you miss? What did you, how did that deter your next 10 steps? Or how is it going to benefit your next 10 steps? Because every action has an opposite, but equal reaction. But we have, I think there's branches in our brain, that branches often give us options and to walk down different paths. And it's up to us to choose those options. And if we choose the option, I think metaphysically that other option was still chosen somewhere else. So, I mean, I'm one of those people that go back and forth with that. It's very possible. Because science says it's possible. But again, I'm like you, Daniel. I can feel it. I can touch it. I'm here now in this moment. So I'm gonna focus on this one. I'm gonna focus on this reality.
I'm gonna stay in this lane for today. I'm gonna stay in this lane for today. Yeah.
But yes, Isaac said string theory, quantum physics and string theory. He's been on that for a while, and that's facts. I definitely know that myself. Bernadette also said, after seeing what's going on with ChatGPT, it makes you worrisome with what consciousness is. It looks sentient to me. Okay, and as a person that's been using ChatGPT, I think it has qualities of being sentient. I think it has qualities of fully understanding what it is to be human. I do. I've done a lot of research on this over the years. One of the biggest fears in humans is that this technology can become sentient. I don't know how true that is and how much control, but what makes us human? The fact that we can think, the fact that we can make decisions. Well, ChatGPT can do both of those as well.
Oh, don't be scaring people, James, talking like that now.
It's real, bro.
You can see, they can think, they can see. Stop.
It's real. It's real. I mean, if you play with this technology, Daniel, I'm literally playing with this technology every day, and it outthinks me, bro. Like, literally just on some basic stuff, it goes places. I'm like, wow, I didn't even think about that. But you may need to double check. You may need to double check and see if the information is correct. But it just gives you that notion that the possibilities are there,
See, that's the problem, James, is it's going to, in this short period, say over the next like 2 or 3 years, it's going to, for the first like 15 months, 18 months, everything is going to be, you're going to question everything. And then you're going to get to a point where you don't question it anymore. And then that's when they take over.
I agree. That's the thing that I think everybody's scared of, because if something makes you feel smaller than you are, and there's no way to feel bigger than it, at some point you're just going to accept that it's here. I think people haven't accepted that it's here. People are afraid of what it could be, what it is, and what it was. Because what it was, as you've seen in the video, Chat GPT 3 was not as smart as Chat GPT 4. So it's wild, man. It's really crazy. So,
and I say, why don't we just keep evolving it? Why don't we just keep doing it? Right? If we're really scared about it, why don't we put the brakes on it? Not going to happen. Now.
Right?
Not going to happen.
Why wouldn't it happen? Why?
No, I agree. Why, but if 50% of the people are scared of it, well, let's just keep doing it. Let's just keep scaring them, right?
I think one of the main reasons why we would not see them pump the brakes on this is because now we're now in the dawn of what we're now labeling the tech wars. Yep. The tech wars are where we are. Our companies, our American companies who are currently building these technologies, also with the Japanese companies, the Chinese companies, we are at a race, just like we were at a race to get to the moon first. We are at a race to be the first ones with artificial technology that can change and disrupt every industry on this planet.
It's so funny watching all these tech companies and do this and the race that they do. One will put something out, and then all of a sudden, like a day or two later, the next one comes and it's better than that. And then it's the next one and it's better than that. It's great for stocks if you get into it right away. You know what I'm saying? You move it from here to there. You're good if you get with these tech companies. But it was funny watching that video and watching Google and Microsoft and all these companies compete against each other and always trying to one up each other on that. And again, I know that's business, that's facts of life. But when you're talking about some type of artificial intelligence and you see something and you're like, man, that is amazing. And then 2 days later, you see this, you're like, okay, that takes it to a whole different level. Pretty impressive.
Definitely. It's definitely impressive. And again, how do you see this disrupting the real estate and insurance? Let's talk about both. How do you see this disrupting?
I'm not 100% sure on that yet. The verdict for me is still out. When it comes to saying that that technology is going to disrupt the home sales, we're already dealing with Zillow and Realtor and Redfin and all of that stuff. Can it in 20 years, 30 years from now? Possibly. I don't think it's going to happen in the next 3 or 5 or even 10 years because I think the way that the market and the real estate market is set up right now, 98% of your homes are still sold by probably an agent. They're not sold online, right? There's probably a small percentage of people that do buy their house from overseas, never see the property and do it, and they do it online. So I don't know. Insurance wise, that's always a concern of mine because of the big insurance companies. I don't know. So my verdict on how this is going to disrupt those two fields that I live in, I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
Okay. Well, let's go back to the real estate real quick because I feel like that's one of the biggest disruptors for me. I think overall what's going to happen with real estate is because the reason why I know it's going to happen with real estate is because my technology, the one that I'm currently working on, I've been working on for the past 3 years, is built to disrupt the real estate market. And through that journey of building this technology, I have been able to see the future of technology, of real estate, of insurance, of mortgage.
So how is technology going to take the realtors, brokers throughout the United States and take them out of the selling and buying of properties? Is it just going to hand it over to the homeowners and let them deal with an AI robot?
No. It's not going to be that invasive right now. but the technology is already out there to pretty much handle 80% of the closings online. People aren't choosing to go that route right now. Like, it's there. The technology to do online closings is there. You don't even have to go to attorneys' offices anymore. But people choose to continue to do the manual stuff because, again, they're not ready for the change of, real estate in that degree. So what I'm saying is, right now we have the structure of Open Door. Open Door allows you to go visit homes without an agent, right? There's a lot of iBuyers who've created this structure. Even rentals, you can go and
But
visit.
even with Open Door, because I'm dealing with one right now, there's a realtor involved, there's a title involved, there's a mortgage person involved. So, I mean, you could put a Ring doorbell on there and unlock it for somebody to go and view the house. I mean, that's not really that far.
No, actually, that's farther ahead than we should be. See, that's what I'm saying. If people aren't comfortable with people going into homes that aren't vacant. All the Open Door homes are vacant right now, right? So,
James, I don't think that that's so like far advanced. I mean, you don't need a computer anymore. We've been able to work on our phones and do everything we can on our phones the last 3 to 5 years, 6 years. You know what I'm saying? So now they can let you into a house that's vacant.
right. So just imagine you walking into this house is vacant. That's because they're comfortable doing vacant homes. When the homeowners are comfortable for sale by owners doing that because they have all the cameras, they have everything that can pretty much qualify the person before they go in. I'm not saying we're going to be getting rid of the agent or the brokerage. We're just going to become customer service reps on the phone. We're not going to be having to go and Open Doors and show homes like that. We may not even meet our clients in the next 3 to 5 years. Everything is going to be done from what you just said. This phone, I'm going to talk to you, or this computer, I'm going to talk to you while you're walking through the house. You're going to be able to make an offer on the spot. They have this technology already that's implemented in showing time. If you go to a property with one of your clients, submit an offer right there. Like, everything is going to a technology-based structure where at some point, only thing we will be is a negotiator on the other end of a phone or a computer line. That's where
we're going to get fat and lazy than we already are.
Yes, like but the question is, do we still deserve the 3% or 6% at that point? That's where it comes down to. How is it going to disrupt us financially? Because if we only just sit there at the other end of a computer, opening doors, putting in contracts, and just talking to our clients from that degree, you're going to see a world where our 3% is going to turn to a $15 an hour job.
But who's going to go and set up all the cameras and all the locks and everything? What if you do that? Then, I mean, your time is valuable, right?
Right. But
you have those services already.
Right. But I'm saying, are you a real estate agent then? Or are you a technician? Are you like what are you at that point?
I mean, I'm going to tell you, this. I feel like sometimes like I'm a firefighter. I'm putting out fires all the time. So, but I don't have the license to be a firefighter. So,
So for me, Daniel, I think, again, we may be 3 to 4 years out. The reason why I said it is because, again, I'm currently working on that technology myself. The people that I'm working with, we're building. What you experience with my technology.
If you're working on it right now, just hypothetically speaking here, what do you ask the question? What is your worth then as a realtor, as a broker? What do you feel? If you're working on the technology right now, you've already had to kind of key this in. What do you think your value is if you're going to be just sitting at home checking in? Okay, Joanne and John Smith are going to go view 123 ABC Street today at this time. They get to the house, you get the ring, you're on the phone, you're walking through. What do you think your value is at that point?
I still think the value is going to be what it is, 2.5 to 3%. Because you're still walking them through the process. You just don't have to physically go there to be there with them to do it. I don't have to go to 6 houses with you.
It's COVID all over again, just without the COVID.
COVID all over again without the COVID. Remember, I did come up with this idea during COVID. So this is COVID sparked this technology that we're working on. So with that being said, overall, I still think the agents can get their 3%, 2.5, 3% based on what the homeowner is willing to give up, So
yeah, but it's probably gonna be one of those things where you could potentially now, talking about this, you could lose buyer's agents. You're gonna have just listing agents because the listing agents can do everything for you.
Exactly. But
So
why
the
would
2.5%, 3% isn't horrible because in a regular real estate transaction deal, let's just say it's 6%, 3% goes to the buyer, 3% goes to the seller, right? So you just handle all transactions. It's just going to be open to where people can go freely on their own.
Exactly. But would you agree or disagree that the housing and real estate market is antiquated? It's antiquated. We're still doing stuff in a slow form. Like there's no reason, for an agent to have to go and do all the stuff they do when it could be subjugated to another structure. If we can subsidize this to a different structure where that agent can still make money without having doing as much work, I think that's where the future of technology and real estate goes. And
I'm getting my contractor's license and my inspector's license.
I would say,
how do you get rid of those? You can't get rid of those, can you?
You can't get rid of those. You can't. Not now, not until the intros are fully developed. But again, there's still going to be a lot of industries that are going to be available in real estate. There's going to be a lot of jobs and opportunities. It's just that you have to evolve with it. If you're not evolving with it, I've met agents, Daniel, who's 45, 50 years old, who's been in real estate 10 years, and they still use some of the most basic technologies like pen and pad when they go to a seminar.
You better be careful, man. Your wife uses that pen and pad, man.
But she also understands the importance of using her computer when she goes to a seminar. Like I literally met a woman who told me she didn't have a laptop. She'd been in real estate 15, 20 years and she didn't have a laptop.
I don't even know how that's possible.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's really wild to me that is even possible. That is really wild to me that you would be in an industry where you can barely type. Typing this is how antiquated typing is. Do you still really type your messages? Like, be honest. Do you really still type your messages? I don't type my messages.
No.
I speak to text. I speak to text. Who uses a keyboard form these days?
Yep. Just make sure advice when you're voice texting, make sure that you read it before you send it.
Please read it. It's going to get better, but please read it.
It's going to get a lot better.
Listen, I come to find out the more you use it, the better it gets at learning what you're trying to say.
Yes, it
like
does.
When I first started using voice to chat, I didn't realize how bad my English patterns was. I'm like, is this what the hell I've been saying the whole time? Like, no way, this is not what you call. But seriously, technology is changing everything. And last but not least, let's talk about the money, man. Let's talk about the digital dollar. I know you did some research recently on the digital dollar. Kind of fill us in on what you learned, Daniel.
Well, the thing is that I try to sit down once a month with my financial advisor and all that stuff. And again, I have an older financial advisor than a younger financial advisor, just so that I get the two perspectives on things. And I had a great conversation because I was like, listen, my grandmother listens to the podcast. She's kind of a little nervous, and I would assume anyone, between the ages of 75 and 85, like they are set in their ways, right? Like they're not going to change. They're like, I want my cash. I want my annuities. I want them protected. That's it. But when we talk about all this digital currency and all that stuff, she's like, should I worry? And I was like, let me ask somebody that's been in the game for a little bit that sees it. And I'm like, hey, what do you think about the American dollar? And do you think we're going to go to digital currency and all of that stuff? And he brought some light to it here is, yes, it's very possible that we could very soon go to that digital currency. But there's going to be those others. And where I was not opening my mind to it, James, was when we go to digital currency and the government creates that for us, they will know every single thing that you purchase, you buy anywhere like that. And that to me is absolutely scary but it can also be a good thing. If somebody's purchasing something that they shouldn't be purchasing, that
like
could harm other
guns,
people.
they say guns, drugs,
Exactly. I mean, when we get to that point, everything that you purchase is put into a computer. They know exactly what you're doing, all of that stuff. And that is scary. But if you're not doing anything wrong, right, then it shouldn't bother you. Right? I mean, that's just my take on it, right? I would rather, honestly, have that type of technology. You know why? Because, James, I'm not doing anything wrong in my life.
You know what people say,
anything that I shouldn't be purchasing. So,
but you know what? The crazy thing when people like say that I don't want the government in my business. I don't want the whatever in my business. The real answer is, what the hell are you doing that's so like, and again, that could be me being, a part of what people would consider, big brother, always spying in. But I'm like, maybe back in the day I was that type of person because I was doing some stuff that I probably shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah.
But as a grown up, my choices that I make are pretty morally straightforward. I don't cross the line.
James, I absolutely love it, man. Like we had like a 45-minute conversation talking about the hair standing up on my arms, man, talking about this, because I was like, first I was like, oh, you know what? No, I don't want that. I don't want them to know that I drink freshly squeezed orange juice and I don't buy the concentrated or, I buy Aqua Fresh toothpaste over this. But car says premium and I put regular. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that. But then I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe it controls, because we can never, and I'm just talking guns, and I wanted to say something at the end of our show. Talking about guns and knives and stuff like that and those purchases, there's no way we could ever get rid of those in this country. It's impossible. But if we could track who's getting them and all that stuff, and there's no more cash at the local Walmart in the parking lot, and it's all digital, it's a game changer.
My thing too, Daniel, when we speak about the digital dollar, we're already in it. We talked about this multiple times. I personally do not carry cash on me. I have no cash. I can't remember the last time I actually had $100 bill in my pocket, or just a few hundred or a few dollars. I don't carry cash. I don't go in, even when how you go into the city and you have to go to an event and you have to pay for parking. They literally tell you to use your phone to pay for it. I don't have to get cash. Even if I wanted to leave a tip, I don't have to have cash on me. So everything is trackable. Yes. Now, I guess the scary part of the digital dollar, if it got to this point, is that the government have the right, or whoever has the right, to cut on and cut off at a limit. Let's say, for instance, you wanted to eat fast food 10 times a week. They can be like, well, to help you prevent your own demise with eating bad, how about we stop you from spending money at any fast food restaurant?
But it works. That's good. But same thing about a bar, right? They've bought their 10th drink of the night in a 4-hour period.
Right.
And that's scary. Like, I don't want the government to shut me down and take those things. But again, if you're not doing something wrong, is it a bad thing to stop you and cut you off from eating 10 McDonald's meals in a week, or being at a bar at 9 o'clock and it's 12 o'clock and you've already purchased your 11th drink? Like,
I mean, we can take it to the bar, but I mean, I know some people would be super mad if they was at a strip club and they can only throw $20 because the government said that's all they can afford.
No, they would have a limit on that. Come on, James. That's entertainment.
Entertainment has its limits as well. So Isaac said, AI isn't artificial intelligence; it's advanced intelligence. Humans has always been the virus of the earth, and once AI realizes it's going to start cleaning up the system.
Though Isaac was in my office 2 days ago with his pen and paper as well.
Really?
Yes.
Listen, if you do not level up your technology game, you're going to get ate alive. You're going to get eaten alive. All right. Level up your tech game. Thank you, Levita. I appreciate the compliment on that. Appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in as well. Make sure you all hit that like button and that subscribe button and bell if you're on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, please just share it to your friends and family members who could benefit from this conversation. For me, Daniel, again, I think the digital dollar is already here. People are afraid of something that has already been implemented. We only see a certain group of people with the actual currency. And honestly, I think that says something about your level of intelligence to a certain degree if you still go to the ATM and pull out $400 and $500 to go and do whatever you're trying to do. Because that says to me that you don't want to be tracked spending your money somewhere. There's something you're doing, that you don't want to be like. That's my mentality at this point. Because again, like we just said, I don't personally have anything to hide. So I have a ledger of everything I spend my money on. Now, the only thing about that ledger is I have to look back at it and realize, damn, I wasted money on a lot of crap. Now, that is the only downfall, is that I am physically seeing or like mentally seeing everything that I'm spending or wasting money on, because now everything is trackable to a degree. I literally can see where that money went versus asking, hey, I had $100. What did I spend that on? Well, you can go back and see it if you're using a digital dollar.
And now when you get your monthly statements in your email, whatever, it has a circle and it has all these pie shapes, and it's like, hey, this money here, 70% was spent on junk.
On junk, yeah. And they you know what? They should literally label it junk. Like junk mail. You spent your money on junk.
Like fun outings or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Then
Bills 2%.
Yeah, bills 2%. Destiny says sometimes you have to go old school, pen and paper to get a job done, especially when your electronics fail. And again, electronics do fail. I think we'll continue to have this as a issue. But one of the reasons why you have to expand on your own intelligence is so that you can become a fixer of these things. I personally think myself being able to code, I can pull up my coder right now, Daniel. I am learning to code. I have been learning to code basic stuff. Because without that technology in the next 5 years, what kind of jobs are going to be there?
I'm investing in my son.
Which is fine. Which is totally fine. But I don't always want to have to call my daughter and be like, come over here and fix my laptop, because like my mom do not.
James, does your daughter call you and ask you for lunch money? Does she call you and ask you for this? If I call Sage and say, Sage, I need you to code this for me. You better run over here and code this for me.
And I agree, Destiny, you still need, some fail safes. But I don't walk around with a pen and pad. I'm sorry. I'll be asking people for a pen and pad when my technology fails and I need something to write. Well, it happens. I totally get it.
You've never been to a real meeting unless you see James. When that meeting starts, he takes his notes with his voice texting.
That's how you take notes. That's how you take notes, baby. Yes. Bernadette said, I'm just getting to voice to text, so I don't appreciate this. I love you. I love you. All right.
I love you too. I love you too.
What it says, she said, but the government can begin to control what you do. You may be fine because you're not doing anything wrong. But what about when they tell you what you can and can't do? They telling us what we can and can't do now. It's called follow the rules. Follow the rules. Stop going against the government all the time.
Or pull cash out.
Until you can't, for as long as you can, or buy some gold, buy some silver, right? Buy some gold, buy some silver. They can't track that. All right, what else we got?
Get your gold squares.
She said also technology creates dependency on AI to think, which diminishes your mental capacity. Again, everybody, if you haven't watched the movie called Idiocracy. Idiocracy came out back in 2007. Please sit down and take an hour and 40 minutes to watch Idiocracy. Idiocracy is a movie that is depicting our future. If you don't believe that this future is happening, then I'm telling you right now, this future is happening. Idiocracy is a really, really good movie. If you look past the comedy of the movie and see the actual truth that this movie is actually putting out there for you to realize this is coming forth, please, by all means, take a hint, people. The world is changing. If you do not change with the world, you will be left behind. And I don't want you to get swallowed up by change, because we are all afraid of change. We are all afraid of change at some point.
I agree with the last comment. I do feel like sometimes we are in a movie, man. like it's scary.
Oh, yeah. Well, she said we were literally in a movie. Destiny said, gotta have a good mix of old school and some new school technology. Oh, yeah. I don't think, people are still using older technologies. I think we shouldn't get away from being so dependent. We should always know how to do some manual labor. But come on. Not 80% of people don't even know how to change a tire, bro. Like simple stuff, like put oil in your car. If your car has oil, like a lot of people drive an electric car. So I wouldn't expect for you to put oil in an electric car, but just know some basic manual stuff so you don't get left behind. All right.
If you see somebody at the gas station getting ready to put oil in an electric car, do you say something, or do you just video it and put it on YouTube and get your million hits?
I think you put that on YouTube, bro.
Okay. I just want to make sure, James, we're on the same page.
No, we're on the same page.
Okay.
No. All right. Profitability over generosity. Profitability over generosity. But yes, Bernadette said we feel like we're in a movie. We're in the movie Idiocracy. She's seen that as well. Destiny said, what are your thoughts on cryptocurrency versus cash? Cash over cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency, the government is, I personally feel like, trying to create their own digital dollar to offset the actual cryptocurrency structure, because they have no control over it due to the fact that it's a decentralized structure, which means the people have control. But you see what happens when people have control? We get greedy. We rob people of billions of dollars. We go off to a Dominican Republic, an island, or the Caribbeans, and we go and relax with some people smoking pot, hanging on a beach with our feet up. This is what happened. Sam Bankman-Fried just did this. He just did it.
I knew I wanted to just get through the episode without him.
I'm sorry, but no, I would take cash over crypto. What about you?
Oh yeah, sure.
How much have you invested in crypto?
Probably 10, 15 grand.
How much have you made on crypto, if you don't mind? Is it
probably on that there, probably about 7 or 8.
Okay. I'm right there with you.
Nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about right there with you. One of the biggest plays I had was like $11,000 play off of yeah. So, but then also I gotta factor in the other plays I made that lost money.
I will tell you, my financial advisor, if he's listening right now, he's gonna call me. He's like, "You better get your money out of there right now." He absolutely hates it, right? He absolutely hates it. But I wasn't one that got in right in the beginning. I was kind of like, oh, I'm gonna wait and see what this stuff is, stuff like that. So nothing like that wows me or takes me in the wipe over the edge. But now it's kind of like, well, let's see what happens with things, right? Let's just see what happens.
Again, I'm with you. Again, that's part of what I was saying earlier. Either you're going to get into it now when early, or you're going to wait till the .com boom happen and you want to be one of the last ones to create a www.this and realize that you got in too late. My thing is, I started focusing on cryptocurrency back in 2006. I was trying to mine my own currency back then, just didn't have the finances or resources to do it. So I've kept my eye on it, but I never was in a position to actually invest. And by the time I actually got into it and started investing, we had so many different cryptos, you just didn't know what to invest in. I've seen so many people invest into cryptos that popped up overnight and they literally lose $10,000, $20,000 overnight because they're following a trend. And I'm not a trend follower. I like to do my due diligence, just like we do in anything, right? Do your due diligence. So you don't fall victim to these cryptocurrency scams or these FTX scams or these what they call it, Forex scams. Even this Forex scams are crazy. I mean, I get so many calls about Forex. It's crazy.
James, I mean, when cryptocurrency gets to the point where we can put stops, like with stocks and all of that stuff, when they start decreasing, you can put a pause on it and save your tail and all of that stuff. Maybe, but
Maybe. Yeah.
right
Yeah.
now, you can only do that in stocks right now.
Yeah. Stop losses. You can't do stop losses in crypto. So, but yeah. With that being said, great show, Daniel. I think it was a great show. It was a fun show. I think we had a really fun show.
I'm headed to the ATM right now to go get cash, and I'm gonna take a picture and send it to our group. I'm gonna have it before our mastermind meeting.
Listen, don't get caught with that cash. The police gonna think you're doing something illegal, bro. The police gonna be thinking you're doing something illegal. So, with that being said, please, hey, everybody, hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button yet, hit the like button. I mean, it's not going to cost you anything. It's not going to, cause you any heartache or pain. It's actually going to make you feel a lot better once you hit the like button. It's going to make you feel even more amazing today once you hit that share button.
If you hit the like button, it'll actually put a smile on your face.
It'll actually put a smile on your face. And if you hit the notification bell, you're going to feel like the world has just opened up for many possibilities. So if you haven't, please do. Other than that, this has been the Closing Table. I am your host, James Garman.
Daniel White. We are out.
And it has been a very great show. Until next time.